This is not casual. Go ahead.
You could hear the the done shit in his voice. All right, go ahead.
Welcome to Idle Talk. It's episode 13. I'm Fernando.
Valdez the Don. We got our first guest. One of my best friends, my cousin, Fabian.
What up? My name's Fabian, the real Don.
So today we're talking The Mandalorian. It took me a while to watch the show. I'll be real with you.
Took you a while to watch the second season of the show.
Yeah,
Too long.
for sure. It's because I wanted to wait until I could watch all the episodes at the same time, and then right when I was about to get on my flight, the last episode was coming out, and I
remember you texting me like, "Yo, I'm trying to download."
I was trying to download all of them. Like I tried to all those shows on pretty bad Wi-Fi, and it was just like I was like cutting it close to the wire, just being able to view all the shows. And then I waited like 2 weeks before I watched it, and I realized the Disney Plus app wasn't updating, and so it was like, this is about to delete in 4 days. So I was like, fuck. And then I just binge watched all the episodes, and just particularly the final episode. Like, what do you think about the entire episode as a whole?
Personally, I think The Mandalorian is the best Star Wars content I've seen in a really long time. Mm-hmm. Like that compared to like the new movies, I'd rather watch season 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian.
Do you think their TV shows are just going to be better than any Disney movies that they put out in the Star Wars context?
Hopefully, if they have the people who know what they're doing, right? Like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, really, you can tell are fans.
I feel like they're like Batman, Superman, like
especially
Iron
Dave
Man,
Filoni.
Captain America type, like
he's like
duos.
He's like obsessed with the series, and like he's like the new George Lucas.
Yeah.
So like having him behind all the projects would be the smart thing to do, but they probably won't.
I think putting him behind all the projects is a bad idea in the way where it's like he's gonna have too much on his plate to give everything the proper due diligence that he usually does. So he did Rebels, Clone Wars, and he's doing all these upcoming projects. And so I feel like everybody wants it to happen for him to be in charge of all the projects, but then it's like, okay, but he's also an artist in that way where he's like, I'm crafting something. So if he can't craft it to the best of his abilities by giving it its proper time, then everything's going to come out late. Disney has a schedule that they want to release out. They want to get these shows out and release so people to see it, so they can make money off of the ads, off of the products, off of the merchandise that they can sell from it. So I think that's a bad idea, having him in charge of everything, because he's not going to be able to make it his own.
I don't mean like have him sit down and direct episodes, right?
Yeah. No,
at the end of the day, I think Jon Favreau was directing episodes. They had a bunch of different people direct. That's fine to me. I think the head of it, like, you know, Kathleen Kennedy is the person who just gave out those movies to whoever wanted them without any storyline. I basically want him to be the Kevin Feige of the Star Wars universe. Just keep shit in line. Dave Filoni.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm
just
what I'm talking
make
about,
sure
too.
like the stories are correct, they're connecting, that everything makes sense, and it's not just a bunch of here's a movie, here's a show, and nothing makes sense and there's no cohesion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying make him sit down and direct every movie or direct every episode.
No, but to be in charge in that manner, you have to be, have your fingers in everything, your hands in everything. I mean, just what?
I think
what do you have something to say?
No, I'm just listening. You guys are putting out names out there, and I don't know any of these people. I'm not good with names.
Kennedy is the head of Lucasfilm currently, and she's the one that gave the new sequel to like 4 different directors. Fired one, hired another one, fired this one.
Brought back J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, so she hired J.J. Abrams at first, and then J.J. finished the very first one, and then she hired Rian Johnson.
Yep.
To do the second one, and it did so poorly because she literally didn't give that man any notes. She was just like, do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
So all the stuff that the dude had like set up in the first movie, the dude was like, I don't want to work with any of that. Yeah. And just threw it out the window.
That sucks.
And then,
I also think
it went nowhere.
Episode 7 was a cheap movie. It's
cheap?
basically,
what do you mean, like the cost?
It's just cheap. Like it's just like it's the same as episode 4, but just new.
You're talking about The Force Awakens.
Like originality wise, it was just like, they just remade episode 4. And it's
I think that's what the case was. I think that's why J.J. Abrams wrote it to be safe so the fans could love it, but left options and so many like branching paths.
Because he didn't want to do a trilogy, right?
Yeah, to continue doing the story. So that's why he had all these ideas and be like, all right, I'm handing this off to the next director to work with.
Easy to work with.
Yeah, to work with all these ideas that I've come up with.
Because you could go many different ways from them.
And then the director was like, oh, no, I don't want to work with any of the shit that you gave me. I'm going to just throw it all out. Like, he was like, oh, because I remember in the beginning, they teased that, like, Rey was supposed to be, like, a much bigger person. And then Rian Johnson was like, nah, she has no lineage. She's nobody.
Yeah.
And then, like, JJ was like, no, you fucking idiot. Like, so when he got the movie back, he was like, oh, she's a Palpatine.
Yeah.
Because, like, he always wanted her to be someone at least. And same with the Finn character. I think he wanted him to be force sensitive and he wanted him to be gay. But Disney didn't want him to be gay. And I think...
Who?
Disney.
No, who to be gay?
Finn, the black kid.
The stormtrooper.
Oh, yeah.
He was supposed to be gay with the other guy in the movie, the one that's like a pilot.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
They were supposed to be gay characters, but I don't think Disney wanted that. They were like, nah.
Yeah.
So to compromise in the last
Star
movie...
Wars is really, it's a kid-oriented franchise.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I guess they were just like, nah, let's not put that out there now.
Yeah.
But... what do you think about that Star Wars is a kid or like focused oriented franchise?
I think
because many of the fans
many of the fans are
kids,
at least not anymore. But I think it makes sense. I mean, if you listen to old like interviews with George Lucas, a lot of the time he's like, "This is for the kids. I'm doing this for kids." That's why he introduced Jar Jar Binks in like the prequels. It was a character to like be funny and shit for children. The adults hated it because it wasn't for them.
Yeah, it's not for them.
But people just lost their minds about this character and hated this guy to the point that like he almost committed suicide, and it was like it's horrible what they did to this poor man.
I feel like the adults were the kids in his like from the original trilogy.
Because I love the prequels; those shits are awesome.
I love them too. I remember watching as a kid, but I feel like the love of Star Wars should come from introducing somebody who's never seen it to it, like a kid. Yeah. Like I remember showing my sister the Hatchet order of all the movies, where it's like 4 and then
so basically the actual timeline.
Yeah, the actual timeline, and then Clone Wars. We were bonding over Clone Wars, and then Rebels came out, bond over Rebels. I feel like that is more fun instead of sitting there and like I hate this because it's not truly what should happen. Like it's not like this. It could go better that way. I feel like we need to find the fun of introducing somebody to it. I feel like that is the reasoning for
that's
Star
why
Wars.
I don't hate the new trilogy.
Yeah,
like are they my favorite? No. But like I'm not gonna sit here and hate and point out things that are like horrible. I'll just be like, it's whatever, man. Like I love Star Wars as a universe, as a brand. So whatever I can get, I enjoy.
Like I remember when I was in Mexico showing my nephews, I was like, this is Star Wars, guys. Yeah. Like what's that? Like, oh, you're about to get fucked up. Like this shit is awesome. And then like they were getting hype over the old special effects. I'm like, yo, wait until the second trilogy, and then wait until the third trilogy because those special effects are amazing. Better. Yeah, like, and they're like, oh, this looks so cool.
And in the Mandalorian, they got even better.
I didn't show them that. I didn't have space. I didn't have space on my iPad anymore. But I was just like, it was just awesome, just seeing
because like lightsabers are literally made of light, but they never reflect light. But then in Mandalorian, they actually reflect light, which is really cool.
And I feel like with a lot of people like nitpick those details too, and it's just because now we're just like, all right, now let's make that make sense a little bit more.
Yeah, before we have the technology for it.
Before it was like, all right, let's just try to make it seem as realistic as possible, or make it seem as sci-fi as possible.
The fight in the very first movie between like Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, it is horrible. It's like ping ping swing, I'm dead, and he just like he disappears. He doesn't even die. His body just disappears. He just becomes clothing.
I guess that's how we introduced the Force Ghost.
Yeah.
But like you can even tell the fight was poorly choreographed.
Yeah.
And then you look at the fight of Revenge of the Sith, the last fight.
Yeah, between Obi and Anakin is insane.
Even the one between Palpatine and Yoda, even though that was mostly CGI.
Those were my favorite fight scenes.
But like, the prequel fights, they're amazing.
Like I mean, they were saying that Ewan and Hayden were like going hard practicing.
Yeah, they broke a bunch of those sticks.
We want this to be like amazing. We want it.
I want Star Wars to go back to that type of fighting because in the in the last season of Clone Wars, it's like that, and it's fucking amazing. Yeah. But in the new trilogy, it's more like grounded and more like sword fighting. It's like bang, bang.
I think the reason why is because they haven't really trained.
Oh, that could be it. Yeah,
they're not in peak Jedi time. It's like Luke had his school, then Kylo destroyed all those Jedi, and so they're not really practicing those forms, as they used to call it. Yeah. So I think It's like, all right, we fight like this now because really there isn't any teachers available to teach
besides Luke, who's now passed. Yeah,
Ahsoka somewhere around the galaxy, wherever she was at that time. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, I think, oh man, those lightsaber fights were sick.
They were.
I remember just showing my nephews and nieces. They're like, they're going crazy over Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting. They were getting sad. Like, oh my god, the friendship is over. That's crazy.
Did the famous Luke, I am your father scene? Did it affect you or no?
Me?
Yeah.
I was just so shocked, and then I was already spoiled by it.
That's what I'm saying. As a kid, I watched the prequels before I ever saw the original trilogy, so I knew Anakin was Darth Vader. So when I saw that scene later, like down the line, I was like, yes, I know. Like, I don't get the big like hubbub about this. Like, I've been known that was his father, but you need to think about it. When those movies were released, there was no context. No. It was just this crazy ass villain who's always been a villain is now all of a sudden is the main character's father, which is nuts at the time. But yeah, when I watched it, it meant nothing to me. I was just like, I know.
Crazy. I remember my sister's reaction. She had no experience with Star Wars at the time, and she was still like, she was old. She was old enough to use the internet. She was like 10, and so I was just like, the scene is coming up, and I'm like, I'm not gonna watch the movie. I'm gonna watch her reaction. I'm like, cause this is a genuine like reaction to it. And then she was just sitting there, just watching, all interested. I'm like, oh, she was like, and I'm watching her, and then he says, "I'm your father," and she's like, "What?" Just yells "what" to the top of her lungs. She's so shocked, so surprised. It's like, yeah, I mean, I love introducing people to Star Wars. Yeah. I think it's fun if they can hold on for the ride. Like if they watch it and they're like, oh, it's not interesting to me, so they're not gonna. I know it's not gonna produce a reaction like that. But when the people are interested, it's like, okay, yeah, there's so many things that are gonna like shock you. Anakin and Obi-Wan fight. Obi-Wan's last lines to Anakin after he cuts off his legs and arms.
I have the high ground.
I am your father.
I hate you. Yeah. He's just on the ground.
Yeah. Padme dying. I feel like that's a powerful moment too. It's like, oh man, like, damn.
The way she died is still stupid, but
Jar Jar is over there sad too.
Yeah.
And, like, you hate Jar Jar, but then you see Jar Jar and he's all sad. You're like, oh man.
I really disliked him though. He was a really.
You did it?
Not for you,
I didn't give a fuck.
I
truly didn't give a fuck. I didn't care either way whether he was on the screen or not. I hated him in Clone Wars though. Anytime they would make a Jar Jar episode, it pissed me off.
I feel like so obnoxious, right?
Yeah, but I don't mind if he's in the background or he's like in the scene. But when he's a main character of an episode, I was like, I cannot deal with this shit.
And Mace Windu, I feel like I love those episodes of Mace Windu and Jar Jar because it's like the character can be the audience. Yeah. What the audience, like Mace Windu is the audience. It's like his opinions of Jar Jar is the same exact opinions of how the fans receive Jar Jar, and then Jar Jar just being Jar Jar. He just like fucking shit up on his own. And the episode where he has to pretend he's a Jedi and Mace Windu's doing the Force for him, and people are like, whoa.
And he's like that at the dinner table, right?
Yeah. I think that I love that dynamic between Mace Windu and Jar Jar in the Clone Wars.
Mace is a dickhead
like,
though.
Huh?
Mace is like the worst Jedi. He's a dickhead.
He shouldn't be a Jedi.
He's dope. He's a dope character.
That he was like the second in command of the Jedi Council is like terrible.
He's an asshole, and Yoda's like an idiot. They let shit slide when they like wanted to, but then other shit they wouldn't let slide.
Yoda's like that guy. He's like, nah, we've always done it this way. I'm like, nah, but change it though.
Exactly, it makes no sense to keep it this way.
Who's Mace Windu?
It's Samuel L. Jackson, purple lightsaber.
Yeah, purple lightsaber.
Oh, yeah. Okay, all right, got it.
The dopest lightsaber in the galaxy, bro.
Yeah.
You know his lightsaber says like badass motherfucker on it. It's like engraved on it.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Wasn't there like didn't he choose the color?
He did.
He was like, I want to stand out from all these blue.
So like, because in the episode 2, when all the Jedi come to save Padme and Anakin, like in the arena, they all have lightsabers and they're fighting. And then so Samuel L. Jackson asked George Lucas, like, can I get a purple one? They're all green and blue. I'm not gonna stand out. And he's like, no, like usually all the good guys have green and blue and the bad guys have red. And he's like, all right. And he's like, but I'll think about it. And then when he showed him the movie, he showed him that it was purple. Oh, because if you bought figures like before the movie was released, he had a blue lightsaber. Yeah. But because after the effects, after the effects and everything, they made it purple, and he did it just for him. Yeah. So he was canonically the first person to ever have like a purple lightsaber, but not like in lore. I think in lore it's normal to just have any color.
Yeah. But in the movies at the time, it was only green and blue. Red was bad. Like that's it.
And I think the reasoning now is because he dabbles with the dark side, so it's like a combination of red and blue to make the purple. Yeah. So what do you think about The Mandalorian?
I think it was a good season overall. Again,
both seasons. You like the whole show?
I think both seasons are 10 out of 10s, which is
I agree.
Which is a very powerful statement for me to put out there because I don't really think some shows are 10 out of 10s.
Yeah.
Like from start to finish.
Yeah.
I feel like each of them had the correct pacing. Like especially the one with the Mando is in Tatooine and he's with the Sand People, so he communicates with the Sand People. Yeah. And then
Raiders, not Riders.
And then the group, the sheriff group, that guy who had
that episode.
Boba Fett's armor.
Yeah.
And
Cobb Vanth.
Yeah, they don't really like each other, and I feel like the storytelling was perfect because like in every other form of media, like when two sides are against each other but they have a common enemy, they just get along right away.
Yeah.
There was still animosity.
Yeah, you could tell that they didn't like each other. Yeah.
Be careful if you blow us all up. Like, I know what I'm doing. Like, don't talk to me like that. And I feel like that was a perfect portrayal of two groups having to come together to try to get rid of something, and still kind of not liking each other until the very end. It wasn't like, yeah, we're friends. What's up?
Is that your favorite episode of the seasons?
No.
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 What would you think?
I just really like that episode stood out to me the most because of how the pacing of that episode was just so like dynamic and so and it's one of the first episodes. Is it the first episode?
Or maybe no, I think it's the second. Right? It's the second episode.
And I think just it's important to captivate the audience in that way, where it's like, okay, cool, this is what we're getting, and the third episode is more fast paced than the last.
That's where you fight the dragon. And
shit. And then you slow down episodes 4 and 5 because then now you're transporting this mother and her babies. To a different planet.
There's like a little
Yoda horror. Just kept on eating them.
Yeah.
Oh no, Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda. His name, but
I'm not calling him Grogu, bro.
That's his name, bro.
You call him Grogu?
Yeah, I call him Grogu now.
I like Baby Yoda better.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it's not his name.
He just kept on. He just
genocide, bro. He gave no fuck. He was like, "I'll be eating these shit. These shit is yummy."
Yeah. And then I guess that moment where he is with the two parents of the babies and he's touching the glass and then it starts sprouting. It starts hatching, whatever those squishy eggs were.
Like tadpoles.
Yeah, I feel like that. Like he was like connecting with them with the force. I may be looking into it too much.
Or he could have been like,
"Damn, this is yummy."
No, because there's very subtle evidence.
Yeah, that he changed his mind.
He's like
he changed his mind on the fact that they were
he's
just
connecting
food.
with other life forms
for sure.
Yeah.
So I feel like he was just like, all right, we're connecting, because not even if it's on purpose, because he was so force sensitive in that way where it's like he just doing shit like by accident.
As someone who doesn't really watch a lot of Star Wars, Johan, what did you like about The Mandalorian?
My favorite episode has to be the second episode with Bill Burr. The one
where season 2?
Yeah, season
like when they take him out of prison and they come back and then like
that's
favorite. A very good episode.
That's my favorite episode because Bill Burr is one of my favorite comedians, and in that episode he really showed his stuff of how good of an actor
he could be, not just a comedian. I was like,
dang, that's really good.
Like you could see the emotion in him when he was like telling them about all the people that died.
Yeah,
and the like commanding officer like didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, and he was like
I'm gonna just
my
murder
brothers
you.
in arms.
And the respect that he gave Mando, he like saw his face and was like, "I never saw your face."
Yeah,
it's something that's like super like admirable.
But my favorite thing about The Mandalorian is not The Mandalorian himself, because I don't think his acting was anything, because I couldn't really gauge his emotion because you can't see his face. Me.
Okay. I'm calling Cat.
I liked the side characters. I like the side characters more, and the expansion of the world and how they viewed Jedis and all these other factions within Star Wars, because I was really like confused. I'm like, how don't they know about Jedis or the Force? Like when he brought it up to other people, he's like, "Oh, he's doing a little magic trick." I'm like, "You haven't heard of Jedis?" And I'm just like lost, and I'm like, okay, now I'm understanding the whole
how big the universe
is. Exactly,
because it's a vast universe. Like
and in that timeline, the only ever Jedi they've seen is Luke. He's the only he's a champion of the rebellion.
Yeah,
but besides that, there are no other Jedi. The Jedi were disbanded and murdered. By Darth Vader. But Ahsoka is like a rebel. She wasn't like actually a Jedi. She wasn't out there like doing things.
Because there's Asajj Ventress. She was a bounty hunter with lightsabers because she was no longer a Sith, and so people recognized her as a bounty hunter that happens to have lightsabers. So
she also got murdered.
She could. You could safely assume that Ahsoka is just a vigilante that has lightsabers because they're white. And they're not necessarily the traditional colors like blue and green that we talked about earlier.
And she doesn't follow the religion anymore.
Yeah, so she just... I feel like for many instances, she just uses them when she needs to. Not like has them out and about as like in old times. Where like if something happened, lightsabers. She was like gauging. Like, okay, can I do it? Should I need to use these? I could probably...
Rosario Dawson's like portrayal is awesome. I really like it. Of Ahsoka Tano. That's my favorite character.
What was the issue that her husks were too short?
Yeah. And it was her what are they called? Ted. They have an actual name. I don't know what the fuck they're called. Her little like tentacles on her head.
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to be a lot longer. Because in Rebels, when she was even younger, they were mad long. But in this show, when she's older, they should be longer. But they shortened it because she couldn't move in them. Yeah. So they just practically had to make them smaller. Which I don't give a...
Yeah, I don't care about that either. But I heard that was an issue on the internet.
Like, people were, like, upset about how she wasn't, like, correct or whatever.
Canonly correct, I guess.
She didn't look exactly how they wanted her to look, which makes no sense.
She's weird. Like, stop.
Yeah.
Do you remember when she first was introduced? In history. Like, when the Clone Wars movie came out. Do you remember how that reaction was? Like,
they hated her.
How did you feel?
Oh, I love the character.
I didn't mind the character.
I liked the dynamic that she had with Anakin, even in the very first scene, where like
Sky Guy.
Yeah, she's like mocking him and shit.
He's like a general. Yeah, he's like it's in the middle of the Clone Wars, right? Yeah. He's already established. Like he's a general in people's eyes.
He has the whole 501st Legion
and then she
commanding.
Comes up to him. She's like, "What's up, Sky Guy?" And he's like, "What?"
Because like originally, like she thought that Kenobi was gonna be her master, and it turns out that no, Yoda gave Anakin an apprentice because he thought it would help him like mature and not like go to the dark side.
Which again, you kick out his apprentice.
Yeah,
with the sole purpose to keep him on the light side. You're like, get out of here, and then so he loses his only source of light, and then like boom, it all like trickles down. It's so stupid.
Which is the Jedicons are fucking idiots.
But that's the thing I don't get. Like, if Ahsoka is alive during the Mandalorian, then it's just because they're so far away, right? That region that the Mandalorian is in, they're so far away from where the Jedis were. That's why they haven't.
Tatooine knows that there's Jedi.
Yeah, Tatooine knows about Luke, and because Tatooine is the desert planet.
The desert planet where the Sand People. And
okay.
Because Luke's been around there.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's from there, and Anakin's from there, so they know of Jedi because Jedi go, especially in those places that we visited on Tatooine. It's not like we visited.
But the person who said like magic hand thingy is Grief Karga. He's not from Tatooine. He's from another planet. He doesn't know about Jedi. So like Yoda healing him, Grogu healing him, and or lifting things. That's why to him it's just like magic. He doesn't really know what the fuck is going on.
Unlike the school episode. Where he's
like eating the cookies?
He's taking the cookies.
Yeah.
What are those called in real life?
Macaroons?
Yeah, those are fire.
Right? Those are really good.
I know.
But I think it was hilarious that he just like, let me get some. He's like, no.
He just takes them?
Yeah. I feel like, again, Baby Yoda's the audience. That's the shit the audience would do if they had the Force. Like, give me this shit. Give me that shit. I'm going to ask for it. No? Taking the shit anyway.
I wonder how that would go if you were in a class full of people that could use the Force. You would just break a cookie and I'm just no.
Oh, as a person that's not really into Star Wars and knowing about like all its aspects, like what would you do if you had the Force? Like if you didn't know that there were certain rules of whatever you can't do, like what would you do?
In real life, I'll be a villain. I'll be a Sith. No doubt about it. I would kill.
No, let's say we don't have the factions, right? Let's just say you just have the Force. You're able to use it, like as you.
Yeah, I'll be a villain. Yeah.
You just started like I am in charge of everything now.
Yeah, facts. I wouldn't try to be a hero.
But you're not bulletproof. They could still shoot you.
Yeah. You don't have a lightsaber to deflect it. You just have the Force powers. You don't get a lightsaber.
You can't be open about your shit. They'll murder you.
They'll kidnap you to experiment.
I wouldn't be too open, but I would definitely not be a hero about it.
What if you got drunk and you're at a bar? Watch this.
Starts like lifting
shit.
You could become like a great magician. Yeah. Get money like that. Be like, look, I'm making shit float, and you're actually doing it.
That'd be lit.
That'd be crazy. So you'd be a villain, like
in the Star Wars universe. What would you be?
In the Star Wars universe, a Jedi.
You'd be a Jedi
because like the villains get.
No, not because that they lose. It's just because the Jedi have a better foundation of the training, and you're associated that the Jedi's were trying to do something good.
But do you think you could follow the religion of being a Jedi?
Like no,
zero connection, zero emotion, so you couldn't be a Jedi.
No, but I'm saying that's what I would aim for.
Oh, okay.
That's what I would aim for.
What color lightsaber?
Because he's force sensitive, they're gonna kidnap him anyway. They're gonna be like, all right, come to the Jedi Temple.
I guess, yeah.
And then I would just be in the same situation Ahsoka would be. Yeah. I'll be kicked out.
Yeah, but Ahsoka followed it up until the very end.
Like, she kind of followed. She was a lot like Anakin.
Yeah.
But she would break the rules.
That, right? You think they're gonna accept you as like that's? Oh no, he's just like Anakin.
I think if he makes results as good as Anakin or Ahsoka, they don't care.
But I probably wouldn't. I'd probably just be average.
Yeah. What color lightsaber would you make?
Me personally?
Yeah. I mean,
choose the color.
I know. First of all, I know canonically the crystal chooses you. But I'm saying if you could choose a color, like, have you ever played the Force Awakens games?
Yeah.
No, not the Force Awakens.
Yeah, it's the Force Awakens.
No, it's not. It's Force. No. That shit's dope. I'm talking about the new one, Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
You can choose the color, and that's canonly, bro. That's canon. The Force, dude. That character is so OP that they don't want to put him in anything. They're like, we can't put him in. They can't. He can literally fuck anybody up in that universe.
Bro, they should just make a movie and then be like, this does not count. We made it for you guys.
Oh, dude, I would love to see him just fuck up every character.
Who would you have act as him?
The same dude who mocapped him.
Oh, really?
The guy who voices Maul is Starkiller.
Yeah.
What's his name? I forget his name.
But he's getting too
Sam
old
Witwer.
now.
No.
What do you mean no? He ages
Sam Witwer. Yeah, that's his name.
He ages with time. What are you talking about?
I know, but I think he's not that old enough to like play a character. Oh, I think he's like the same age as Ewan McGregor, who plays Obi-Wan.
Who?
Obi-Wan. The guy who plays Obi-Wan.
Yeah, but he's too old.
No, he's gonna be Obi-Wan again in the new series.
It
same with the guy.
It makes sense. His age to the show that they're putting him in.
Obi-Wan isn't the guy from Taken, right?
No. Liam Neeson is Qui-Gon Jinn, bro.
He's dead. He's been dead for a long time.
He said the guy from Taken.
Obi-Wan.
Have you seen Dr. Sleep?
It's the sequel to The Shining.
The Shining.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or have you seen Birds of Prey?
Yeah.
The DC movie? He plays Black Mask in it.
Yeah, he's actually really...
Oh, okay.
He's a really good actor.
I enjoyed that movie because of him.
Yeah, he's very good in that.
He really tried to carry that movie. Like based on,
and then Hayden Christensen, the guy Jumper. Remember the main character in Jumper? I know you like that movie.
Yeah, really.
He also plays Anakin and Darth Vader. He's coming back.
I like how we have to associate other movies.
Well, because he's not that big of a Star Wars fan, so we have to. Yeah.
The heck were we gonna say about
lightsaber color?
Lightsaber color? I would really like an olive green, like a dark green.
Well, you can't just make up a color. Canonically.
Olive green is
it's just green.
You asked me for I don't know what canon colors.
All right, canon colors: blue, blue, red, green, purple, yellow, white,
I say
orange.
I say for the purpose of this exercise, just
all right. Purpose of this exercise, what color?
Green.
All right, olive green.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Just a dark green, just pop out.
All right, cool. What about you, Nando? Dream. Wait, first, what would you go with? You'd be a Jedi or a Sith?
I want to be a Sith that converts to a Jedi.
Wait, what? A Sith that converts to a Jedi?
I want to just be like something happens in a movie, it changed my mind, and I'm like, oh my god, now I gotta be like Star Killer, when he first starts off as Vader's apprentice, and then he goes undercover
probably
with the rebels.
Yeah, the strongest fucking person because he uses both sides of the powers.
Yeah. I want to use both sides.
Yeah,
of the force.
Makes sense.
I want to I'm like, all right, protect people that can't protect themselves, but also I don't like you.
What color?
Regular colors. I would just choose like a blue. I like the variations of blues.
There's a bunch of different blues. There's like a light blue, a dark blue.
You didn't say all that. No, go ahead. What would be? Would you be a Sith?
Why are you looking at it? First of all, I thought you would understand when I said blue. There's different variations.
So then when I said olive green,
there's never been a dark green. There's
different shades. So if you're saying,
I'm saying canonically, I'm just saying canonically, there have been different shades of blue. There haven't been different shades of green. It's always actually I'm lying because in Clone Wars, Ahsoka's second lightsaber is like a green yellow.
Green yellowish, but that's not olive green. But
yeah.
Just to answer,
the way he rolled his eyes, like his whole life.
To answer Fabian's question, I would choose a blue. I would choose the average blue. But if I was to choose my own color,
yeah, the fantasy version.
I would go with like a silver.
Ooh, that's white, dope.
Silver,
not a white,
okay.
Not a black. I wanted like a silver.
That is sick. Okay. I would be like a gray Jedi like Ahsoka. I think I'd use both sides of the Force. I think I'd use my own morality to see what's good, what's bad. Mm-hmm. I'd use lightning. I'd use choke. I'd use push. Which is crazy because in The Mandalorian, Luke crushes someone, which isn't a Jedi power.
Crushes someone, really?
Yeah,
he crushes the robot.
The robots. It's just pull. It's just pull. It's just pull.
It's not pull.
It's pull. It's like
that's
pulling it within itself.
No, that's Force crush, bro. That's different. That's Force crush. That's like choking somebody. It's like saying choking is pulling. So it's probably technically it's pulling. No, but it's a whole different like genre of power. But yeah, I'd be that. I'd use both sides of the Force like you did. I think my color would either be like a magenta, which is like in between purple and pink. Mm-hmm. But if I had uncanonically, I'd just do like a hot pink.
Hot pink.
Yeah.
If we were all three next to each other,
we look like a dumbass dumbass rainbow.
It's like there's three different kind of people in this world. It's like those guys.
What would your robes be? Like olive?
Oh my God, robes?
Jedi robes. What would you be?
I don't get.
Like the robes they wear?
I get to pick the color?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. They're your clothes.
Oh, no.
No, you must wear this.
I thought that was what Jedis did.
Jedis, yeah. I think all Jedis wore brown robes, but Anakin was like, nah. And he wore black ones.
Yeah.
That should have been the first sign. Hey,
why you picking black, dog?
Out of all the colors, I would go with like khaki.
Khaki? Isn't that the regular color?
You said brown.
No, you think about Obi-Wan's clothes.
Oh, all right. Yeah. My bad.
Khaki robe?
Yeah. I think that would be.
I would also go with black.
I'd go black, yeah. I think it's the most like dopest.
We'd be a fucked up group.
You'd have to be in the middle. Just to
to like offset us.
How many Jedis are there? I think there's just. If we're next to each other, I think there's two. It's you, me, and him. It's like, no. Look, see, he's in the middle. There's three. I would want to start off as a villain because I want that aggression and the passion because they don't condone like not being passionate.
Yeah, but they also like are scheming to kill you most of the time.
Yeah. But like
you gotta watch your own back.
If I'm an apprentice, that's my plan. I'm planning.
No, but even the masters, if they catch a sense that if they catch a sense that you're becoming more powerful than them or that you have the potential to become more powerful than them, they'll just murder you.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is. That's a problem.
You know what's funny?
Because there can only ever be two. So if they see that you're being, there can only be two Siths in the universe. So if
wait, like throughout all the Siths,
there can only be two at a time. At a time.
The dumbest rule.
Do you want to know why that rule was made? Because the guy who made it was Darth Bane, correct?
Yeah.
He felt there were way too many Sith, and that they were just all doing their own thing, and there was no unity, and that's why they were constantly losing to the Jedi. Mm-hmm. The Jedi had unity; they had like
because what's the point of fighting a war if
nobody's following you?
Together?
Yeah, nobody's following orders.
So like, let's say the Jedi were in one spot, they're like, "Yo, let's go kill him," and it's like, "No, bro, I'm gonna go over there and do something.
I'm gonna go get a drink or some shit." So Darth Bane then killed all his homies and just kept one to train.
He's like,
and then
"You're gonna follow my rule."
And then when that one got strong enough, he killed Bane, and then it just.
So there's only ever two Siths
in the galaxy, and if there's ever more, if the Master Darth Sith the Emperor, he had Maul, then Maul died, so then he switched to Dooku, and then Dooku got an apprentice, which is a no. He's not supposed to do that. So then he told Dooku to kill Asajj Ventress, which was his apprentice.
She was powerful.
Yeah, and
he was like,
and that's why she becomes good.
Oh, okay.
Because then she's like, oh, my own master tried to murder me. That's not cool.
Dooku didn't claim her though. He's like, no, that's just my assassin. He's like, nah. He's like, all right, I let it slide when she got the red lightsabers. Like, she's getting powerful. She's getting powerful.
And then Asajj got an apprentice, which was Darth Maul's brother.
Yeah.
And then that was a bigger no-no, and then everyone was like, "There's way too many of us now. Fucking kill them."
Yeah. But that makes no sense if you're trying to fight an army of Jedi and you only have two Siths.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is I'm saying.
That's what he's saying. It's a dumbass idea.
They couldn't get together to be like, if we just kill the Jedi now, we could just do whatever the fuck we want
afterwards.
And we'll not worry about somebody trying to police us.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "What are you gonna do? The regular police are gonna stop us?" No. So I think that's so funny that the Sith's downfall is because they were so in the dark side egotistical is the right word. That they didn't want to band together and just take out their common enemy. Meanwhile, the Jedi, they're like, nah, we're together strong. Like, we protect the people who can't protect themselves. We go off and we try to be peacekeepers, which is...
But they weren't peacekeepers anymore. Because back then, they used to fight only if, like reactionary. Like, if someone was fighting, then they'll fight. But as the Clone Wars went on, they were going out of their way to fight this war. They became soldiers, instead of peacekeepers.
Because it's one thing that you're in this spot and then somebody tries to come attack and take it from you, you're like, I'm already here, I'm defending the spot. But now the Jedi were participating in the actual war and it's in all its tactics.
They would go to planets and be like, yo, align with us before the Separatists come. And they'd be like, no, I want to be neutral. They're like, nope, you need to pick one of us.
Nah, you gotta pick. And the Separatists did that too. They were like, yo,
they would strong arm people. They'd be like, nah, you're part of the Separatist army now. They're like, we don't want to. Like, oh, we'll just kill.
Blockade.
We'll just kill everybody until like, this planet is ours.
Blocking off the planet, no one can leave in or out. Like, and then the Republic had to come and they had to like try to break the blockade, try to get supplies because they were doing humanitarian stuff too. They were like, let's get supplies to the people. Like, we're not gonna force them to be on our side, but let's get supplies to them because of the people who need it. And it's like that the war in Star Wars, like that in the Clone Wars, made it realistic. It was just like there is different agendas being like done behind the scenes.
Technically, the war was not a war. It was one dude
playing chess
with both sides. He was like, I'm gonna make the Separatist army, but I'm also gonna make the Clone army and be like, haha, I'm the leader, so I can always win.
It's just very funny how the Council of Jedi's, the High Jedi's,
the Council.
The Jedi Council.
Jedi Council. They were oblivious
to him,
and he was quote unquote like has like a really dark aura or whatever.
They couldn't sense it, which is so dumb
because they were so like
clouded
with the dark aura of the war already.
And then when they did feel it, they thought it was Maul. They thought he was the master. They didn't think he had an apprentice. They killed Maul, so they're like, all right, that's done with. So they never questioned that there would be somebody else. But I know like a bunch of people like there's always two. There should be someone else, this and that. But like I forget if it was Obi-Wan or like someone else that like was questioning the fact that there should be another Sith out there. But they never found them till way later.
That's like really stupid?
But
stupidity.
I feel like the Jedi preached to think as a group more than think as individuals. And so when Obi-Wan expressed those concerns, hey, there might be a second one, it's like, no, the group thinks that's it.
You've been outvoted. You may leave the island.
If they would have taught to think individually and think critically, they probably could have easily figured out, oh, actually, Palpatine's been in office for how long?
It's insane how much power he would accumulate, and like people never
questioned it.
Questioned it or batted an eye.
Good dude.
Like at one point they were like, we're gonna give him emergency power so he can like rule the whole galaxy. But he'll give it back to us once the war is over. The war was always like, I'm keeping this shit. I'm the Senate. Like they're dumb. And then he branded them as traitors, the Jedi. Then,
he convinced all the other worlds, like, let's go.
The Jedi were bad. They betrayed me. They tried to murder me.
Look at my face.
Look what they did to me.
How did he get like that? Is it because of the lightning?
We never find out, but
it's just his dark energy.
That's the theory. Is that he's always looked like that.
He just portrayed a different.
That's what people think, is that he always looks wrinkly, but because he was like had to put on this image, he put on this fake image, and then like the lightning is what like just deteriorated that image. Because I think he's been, at least I think so, that he's been hopping from body to body, because he's been the only Sith for like a very long time, because he killed Plagueis, which was his master, and then he's been the master of Sith for a very long time. I think he's just been jumping from bodies, because that's what he was trying to do at the end of the trilogy. He was always trying to find a clone body.
In the comics, there's stories like that too, where it's like they find a freaking hub of just Emperor Palpatines. They're like, oh my god. Let's circle back to the Mandalorian. Let's talk about the actress, where she had some
Gina
interesting
Carano.
Remarks. I don't want to give her no free clout.
She's clouded enough, bro. She's a whole famous actress. I don't think she needs our podcast as clout.
So before we talk about her real life actions, I think it's just she was a good character in the Mandalorian.
I did like what was her name? Cara Dune?
Yeah.
Loved the character. Sucks to not be able to like see her. What are they gonna even do to her character now?
She's just not gonna show her.
Yeah, right. They must have to because they literally were like, she's never gonna be anything.
And she's like, oh my god, she was on there.
Oh my god, Cara Dune was on that ship. Yeah. Like it's just.
I don't want to separate the art from the person too much, but I thought she was a good character. I liked her when I saw her. In the
Do you think maybe
season.
they'll recast?
I don't think so.
No, you think they're just gonna kill the character?
Kill the character and introduce somebody new.
I was thinking like
make Ronda Rousey the new Cara Dune.
I was thinking like, what if they don't kill her with the soldiers? They were like, she wasn't even killed by the soldiers. She was killed by her neighbors. Her
neighbors came out and beat her.
That's gonna make sense after we read her statement. So she did put out numerous tweets and Instagram posts.
Yes, I think the original, very first incident was people asking her if they asked her to be an ally for the transgender community and to put her pronouns in her bio. Yeah. And instead of just being like, no, I don't really like want to do that, she was like, no, I don't want to do that. And by the way, beep boop bop, that's my pronouns. Like it's as she was like a robot, and people got really offended. That was the very first like take with Disney. They were like, hey, like
I think it's because she was beep bop boop. Like those are obviously sound
jokes. Yeah, exactly. That's
and
the
it's
point.
like now you're connecting Star Wars to
whatever political shit that you're doing. And I think
which is funny, but like
it is
petty.
funny.
It's petty though. It's
but
petty.
I think that's fine because it's just humorous, right? It's like whatever.
But that's not the first or the last thing she did.
It's like if that was just the only thing she did, I'd be like, whatever, I'm on her side. It's just a joke. Like get over it. It's just
like comedy is
humor.
subjective.
Yeah,
let's remember that.
It's horrible humor, right? But then the next one was the whole like, oh, masks don't do anything. Yeah, the coronavirus isn't real. And then it was like
in a time where we were still in peak corona.
And then I was like, oh, girl, you get a little much. You get a
little edgy.
It's a little spicy out there.
And then I think the last one was the political point, the fact that she was like a Republican, and because she was Republican, she felt that like her quote. So her quote was, "Jews were beaten in the streets not by Nazi soldiers but by their neighbors, even by children. Because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views?"
She made a lot of wrong points there.
Absolutely. But that's her exact quote. I'm not misquoting. I'm just reading it from straight the quote.
From the article.
I think it's the dumbest thing you could say.
Yeah.
I do think Republicans get really bad raps because they have such horrible takes sometimes. Yeah. But I don't think it's to the point.
It's the bad rap because the most outspoken of them are giving them the bad rap.
Exactly.
Like
they have outlandish things that they say.
Yeah.
Like something like that where like it is not comparable to have Jewish people who were hated just for being Jewish, which is something they can't change.
You can't change, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like to being
a political
view party. Like it's insane to me.
Because you can be a conservative Jew or you could be a democratic Jew.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where like Disney had their last straw. They were like, yeah, we're done.
Like all these separate incidences that don't really correlate with each other, but now it's just like, all right, you're becoming a problem.
Yeah, because
if PR has to.
Yeah, I think PR spoke to her a few times, like, yo, stop posting on social media. It's giving us a bad look, and I think she's just.
The mouse came down.
Yeah,
Mickey Mouse came down. He was like, "I'm tired, man."
Yeah, the mouse fire people quick.
Oh man!
And like she lost. That's like she fumbled the bag for real. Like she lost all her money.
She lost. She was gonna have a spin-off show.
Yeah, the Rangers of the Republic. She was gonna like star in it, and they were like, nah, you got nothing now. Nothing. All the figures and stuff all the merch that were on it that she was getting like money from, they're not in production anymore. They got stopped.
Yeah,
it's just imagine fumbling all your bag.
I don't think she fumbled it. I think she
dropped it.
She dropped it. Yeah,
she just threw it away.
Yeah, she made that statement.
Thinking it was on her, thinking she was dropping some facts though. She probably thought like, "Yo, I'm about to."
She said that tweet like, "Yeah,
neighbors." But the thing that she did get right was that you can't escalate this sort of level of hatred and bigotry without the spread of hate speech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can't just start killing people in the street, rounding them up. And
then people agreeing with it.
Without the general public agreeing with it. That's what she's getting right. But yeah, she dropped the bag. She definitely dropped the bag.
Lost all her money. Yeah. And now I think she started like a GoFundMe and she made mad money for it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because Republicans like just give money out.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's help her out.
Yeah.
The left won't win. So they just gave her mad money, and like I think she's making her own movie now and starring in it. And I'm like, oh, that's gonna be a fucking train wreck.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
It's different from being a good actor or actress, and then like becoming a director, a writer, an actor. All at the same
she's not doing it out of passion; she's doing it out of spite.
Yeah,
right. Because the best movies come from a passionate place.
Yeah,
and so she's not passionate about it; she just wants to do it because, like, yeah, I got the money. I'm gonna show them. Like, it's not the final product. May be okay. It may be good. It may be terrible because she's not putting her heart and soul into it. But like, we won't know till it actually comes out. Would you guys watch that?
It's gonna be. I'm gonna watch it because there's gonna be a lot of rhetorics like this. So I'll have the time of my life.
Do you
just
think
laughing.
it'll be one of those films where like you'll watch and make fun of?
Yeah.
Like when we watched that Jeffrey Epstein shit and it was just very funny to us when it shouldn't have been.
This documentary.
Yeah. Me and Joan watched it and we were just laughing a lot while we were watching it because it was very funny how stupid some people really are.
Yeah, like the police officers fumbled the bag. Everybody. Oh man, but let's get back to Star Wars. We might have to edit that, but
let's keep that in there. Let's keep this episode is going to be called Star Wars
and shit.
Star Wars.
Feel the shit.
Star Wars.
Revenge of the shit.
I had an idea, but yeah, I lost it.
And yeah, so.
Any final points on The Mandalorian?
Jimmy Carroll is an idiot. I don't care how much I'm passionate about some shit. Like, if I'm making bank, why would I fumble that? I would have waited until like all my deals were done with Disney, and then voice my opinion.
Like Disney, Disney money, hits different.
Exactly. Like if I'm working with Disney, I know for a fact they have a brand to keep, and if my ideals don't like align with that brand, I'm gonna get fired if I start talking crazy.
If I work for Disney, I'm going to Disney. I'm like, you need to get Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You need to get them to delete my account, make a new one, and then verify me on that account because I don't want people digging up any crazy shit I might have said before.
Disney money is
like
real,
way back in like 2008, 2010. Like I'm not like let's just be safe. Get rid of all my social media to start this new one. Like. Mm-hmm.
Especially in her position where it was a small character, small role that grew into a whole new show.
Not even by like the directors, just the fans really just appreciated and liked the show, and they're like her character on the show, and they were like, "Yo, if she had her own show, that'd be crazy." And they're like, "All right, let's give her own show," and then it's like, "Oh, never mind." Mickey Mouse can be like, "Hey guys, just throw all that out." There's just
no, they didn't throw it out.
They're like Control F her name, and then add somebody else.
They Control F her name and gave the role to someone else, which is wild.
Whoever is in that spot,
we don't even know
who, their own show,
who's taking up that role.
Like whoever
Harrison Dula, live action.
Didn't you say Ronda Rousey?
That was a joke.
No, I made the joke that they
Star Wars, Ronda Rousey, and
they could recast it. Yeah, because I mean they're both MMA fighters who are now actors.
Yeah, but she's a kid.
I think the powerful thing is that
she's a farm.
Who, Rhonda?
Yeah, sorry.
When Disney blacklists you, I think a lot of other companies are gonna be like,
because Disney owns so much.
Yeah.
So like, if they blacklist you,
you're not going into no Marvel. Don't think you're gonna be doing any superhero stuff.
No Marvel, no Star Wars,
no cartoons. Basically, Netflix is probably
History
just
Channel.
Netflix is
no Hulu. You can't do a Hulu original series. They own Hulu.
Damn, she's really tight.
That's why she did that GoFundMe, because she knows no company's gonna work with her after Disney.
Now, until
it dies
years
out.
pass, maybe like a year or two, just like, all right.
Or if she just apologizes, bro, like that shit was up.
But I feel like
it's too late to apologize.
I think she doubled down on it.
She should have apologized after the beep bop boop. Because like let's think of context. Let's think of the time that she might have said that right when people were advocating for trans rights, or when people were like, we need to support them, like we can't like leave them out to dry, basically. Mm-hmm. And so I think she saying that, and she's like didn't take that movement seriously, didn't really put respect out there, because it's just basic common courtesy to now. I think now it's just like, now we need to identify our pronouns and be accepting of other people how they want to identify.
Because I remember Pedro, the guy who is the Mandalorian, he put him, like he, him, and him or whatever, like his pronouns in it when they asked him to, like are you an ally? He's like, of course I am, and he just put his pronouns in.
He's like, of course, it's
easy. No problem.
This doesn't affect me.
That's all I have to do to show my ally.
Yeah. This doesn't affect me. Of course,
in any way. Like, exactly. And I think she just, I don't get the mentality like, nah, I don't want to do whatever the hell you're doing.
Yeah,
I just don't get it.
I don't understand that either. I just can't.
It's
fathom
not that big of a deal. Yeah,
I can't fathom not.
Funny joke though, but yeah.
Because it's like
if she did the joke right, she's like, haha, that was funny. I'm really gonna put my pronouns in. I was just joking. I'm really an ally.
I feel like if she would have been like, put it at the top of her bio, beep bop boop, and then at the bottom it would have been perfectly fine. They're like, oh, because she works for Star Wars. That's funny. Yeah. But now it's like just that, like, yo, she also works for Star Wars. Like,
exactly, and they wanted her fired at that point. Yeah, because it seemed like she was just making fun of them instead of being an ally to them.
Yeah.
And I feel like, because also Bill Burr is on the show, I think he would have appreciated that joke if it was clearly.
What if he gave her the line? And then he's in the house like,
but you know what's crazy? Because Bill Burr is outspoken. He's funny. Yeah, he says shit whatever he wants. But even then, he's like, he knows like how to respect the company he's working for.
Yeah, and also like his first job is a comedian. His first job is to get like some sort of shock value from the audience.
Her first job was to beat the shit out of people.
Yeah, in the streets, bro. That's what she wanted to do.
Yeah. Oh, as an ex-MMA fighter, weird. I don't know. So let's talk about future Star Wars stuff. What do you got on that? Like, what are you excited for? Let's talk about what are you excited for the most, and let's just see whatever it is.
What am I excited for the most? I'm either the most excited for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. That shit seems great because Ian McGregor's coming back as Obi-Wan, and I think he is the supreme Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Hate me what you want. That old man is not as good.
No, that old man didn't even want to be Obi-Wan.
Is his name Alec McGuinness, right?
Something like that.
He is not as good as Ian McGregor, who's someone who, like, you can easily tell he was passionate
about being Obi-Wan.
Scroll down. And I want to see Hayden Christensen come back as Darth Vader, because I think that man is such a good actor, and to get the horrible lines that he did in the prequel, just like the cringy lines, like the I don't like sand, it's coarse, shit like that, just cringy shit. Like, I was like, ugh. But to see him come back, like he's gonna fully Vader.
He's gonna be Vader?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fully Vader. It's gonna be great.
Do you think it's gonna be like Rogue One Vader?
Oh, I hope so.
Dark and powerful.
Just going through that hallway, just murdering people.
I love that scene where you show me a picture of Darth Vader. He's surrounded by soldiers, and he said, "You're
drops the most fire line ever."
Because I forgot it.
Oh, he's like, they're like, freeze, we got you surrounded. He's like, all I see are dead people around me.
Where's that from?
It's from a comic where like they're fighting and then all the stormtroopers die. Tanks.
Yeah, I'd put my gun down and walk away. I'm like, oh, I'm not dealing with this.
All I see is dead people.
There's like a platoon of rebel soldiers. He's like, freeze, you're surrounded, give up. And he's like, and then he turns off his lightsaber and he looks around. He's like, all I see are dead people around me. And then he turns this shit on, and then all of a sudden, the next page, him walking away.
Jesus.
I would have been one of those soldiers like, what are you talking about?
So yeah, either that one or Ahsoka, because Ahsoka's my favorite character.
Yeah, and she's a good actor. She's done a lot of good movies.
So good.
Columbia.
Yeah. She's also Dominican, which is dope to finally have a Dominican actress in like the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Because I'm also Dominican. That's like dope as a representation. That's why I also like The Mandalorian. Yeah. Like seeing Hispanic people star in Star Wars is amazing. It's something that I would have loved to see as a kid.
Yeah.
Because the only dark-skinned person in Star Wars for the longest time was Mace Windu.
Yeah. And
he was an asshole. I didn't want to look up to someone like that. But like Mando, I forget what's his real name? Din Djarin?
I don't know. I've just been calling him Mando.
I think his name is...
Because it sounds so close to Mando. Yeah. To Nando.
Mandalorian.
That's what I've been calling him. Yeah.
But yeah, those are the two I'm most excited for. What about you?
Again, Kenobi. I think that one's gonna come out first. But the dynamic between Hayden and Ewan is amazing. I haven't really heard. I saw the announcements on Twitter, but I haven't really looked into it. Again, I'm not really that passionate about Bad Batch as we just scrolled by through it.
Bad Batch. I like the Bad Batch.
Oh. I feel like their episode arc was 4 episodes too long.
I remember you hating on the Bad Batch.
I was like, again, for the last Clone Wars season, they put the Bad Batch in the middle,
Yes.
In the middle, it's like
for like
I
4 episodes.
I want to just get to the end. Like,
but
don't give me.
Dude, they
it
were
felt
good.
like filler, but it was establishing the characters for a later thing. But like, I feel like
it's cool to see clones like be genetically different.
Yeah,
because they're all so similar.
Because 99 was like that too.
Yeah, but he was like,
and they kept them around. I always thought the bad clones, they just
well, 99, the janitor.
Yeah.
99 is a janitor.
I know some stuff.
He got clapped. Yeah. But the Bad Batch is a whole group of them who was genetically modified. One's like hella big, mad tough. One
were they
like,
genetically modified, or they were just, or they just like
they
came out wrong, and they're like, all right, let's improve them.
No, I think they were made on purpose.
On purpose?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
I think
because I know the commandos were made on purpose too.
Yeah, I think they were made.
Let's make this guy
because each of them have
strong.
Each of them have their own like specific skill.
Yeah,
one is like a marksman. One's
that
super
works
strong.
together, right?
Yeah, one is like the leader, the hunter.
Yeah.
He has like echolocation shit where he can like see things. There's what's Tech, the one who's mad smart. Yeah, the only one who isn't now is what's his name. The one who's like half cyborg now, who was originally part of the 501st. Echo. He's part of the Bad Batch now, and he wasn't originally. He doesn't have any genetic power.
It's just because the Separatists modified him.
Yeah. Rangers of the New Republic.
That was the show.
That was the show that Cara Dune was supposed to star in. They said, at least I heard this rumor, that they're trying to put Harrison Dula to be in the role of that, which I love Harrison Dula from Rebels, but I don't know who's gonna play her. I don't know.
Again, Rebels got such a bad rep from the adults. That's a kid show.
I like Rebels though.
Like that's a kid show. Like clearly from the first episode you see kid
No, but it gets darker.
Yeah.
It gets much darker later on.
But it makes sense because of the timeline of leading into A New Hope. But I feel like
I like Ezra.
Yeah, I liked him too.
Kanan. Yeah. I liked Hera. I liked Chopper. I liked
Chopper was funny.
Chopper's funny as hell.
I feel like
what's his name? Zeb, right?
Yeah, Zeb. The
Chewbacca looking guy.
Yeah. Brute guy. Yeah.
Who else was in it? And what's his name? Maul was in it too.
Yeah, which
the Ahsoka Darth Vader fight was one of the best fights in that shit. I love that when we get to when they revisit Ahsoka.
Yep.
That's sick.
I don't know. Again, I feel like Star Wars is meant to be introduced as a whole to people who haven't seen it before, and I feel like the adult fans are just taking it too literally, too seriously as a fandom. Just like accept it for what it is. If this is clearly a kid show, it's on Disney XD. It's on Disney XD. Like, you think that's for you? Like, you really think that's for you? Like,
I know they made another one too that I'm like, oh, that wasn't good, but I knew that wasn't for me, so I didn't hate about it. It was like it was like a bunch of like little academy guys. Like, I forget what it was, like animated differently, and it was like for children. And I was like, this obviously isn't for me, so I'm not gonna hate on it. It was the same concept. People hate on that show so much because I was like, but it's obviously not for you.
Again, Star Wars isn't for you.
But the only two films, at least that I can see, that are coming up are the one that Taika Waititi's making that we don't have a title and we don't know what it's for.
We don't have a plot. It's original? All original?
We don't know.
Okay.
We just know he's direct. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that the Call Givers gave. The Star Wars people gave us. And then there's Rogue Squadron, which is like,
that's a movie.
Yes, oh, yeah. It's a movie made from Patty Jenkins, who is Wonder Woman's franchise. She made the first and the second Wonder Woman. I was really excited for this. This is before I ever watched Wonder Woman 2 when they were announced.
I haven't watched it yet
because I love Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I like the first one.
The very first Wonder Woman is a great film.
I'm hearing all these comments about the second one, and I'm just like, I don't want to formulate an opinion.
I watched the second one, and I was like, you know what? It's not that bad. Like, I was watching it in the beginning, I was like, it's not that bad.
Is it a great? The first Wonder Woman
bad?
Is the first Wonder Woman movie really that good when you compare it to like Marvel movies, or is it really that good when you compare it to DC?
No,
movies?
both. I think it's a very good movie.
I think it's a very strong. I think on its own, it's a very strong movie.
Yeah, I think it's good. And then I watched the second movie, and you could, Jesus, man! When I tell you that is the worst movie I've seen in the DC lineup, it's bad. It's worse than Man vs. Steel.
Man of Steel.
Man of Steel. No, I meant to say Batman versus Superman.
Yeah,
because I didn't like that one either. But I hate this one so much more.
I like Batman vs. Superman just because I like Batman so much, and I enjoyed his parts in the
You're gonna love the Snyder Cut. I just finished it, and Batman is so good in that movie.
Yeah,
I think.
I think Ben Affleck is the best Batman.
Yeah, I agree. I think Affleck is the best Batman.
Oh my god!
But back to the Star Wars thing, Rogue Squadron. I was very excited for it. After I seen Wonder Woman 2, not excited for it anymore. I think.
Do you think it was DC's?
No, she had full creative control.
She did, so they weren't mingling in.
Nope, she had full creative control.
She made it too flowery, and Wonder Woman was supposed to be like some badass.
Dude, watch the Snyder. You know, like animated Wonder Woman, who like is a badass.
Yeah.
The Snyder cut of Wonder Woman is literally that. I love it. I was like, oh, Wonder Woman was such
really?
a beast.
I heard they didn't film new scenes, so they just cut out all the good parts?
No. There's new scenes. There's cut out scenes.
I heard they didn't want him to film.
He
begged. He was like,
no. He
film.
used his own money. The
studio.
The studio said, we're not going to give you money to release this. We're not going to give you more money to film things. And he used his own budget, his own salary to make it, to finish it at least, which was like $75,000, I think, to like finish it.
$75,000.
Yeah, it's a 4-hour long movie, so just know it's long as shit. It's hard as shit to watch. It took me like 4 days. I kept falling asleep.
It's because you got ADHD, bro.
I kept falling asleep and shit. But yeah, I was really excited for this.
That's why I haven't watched any of the. I haven't watched WandaVision. I haven't watched Falcon and Winter Soldier because I need to be like ready to consume it. I don't want to take 4 days to watch a movie.
Yo, real quick, John. You know that line from Vision when he's sitting down and he's like, "Grief is love persevering." You know that line? Yeah. That line is fucking powerful. That's the best line I've ever heard in like any Marvel thing. It's a great fucking line.
It's a powerful line.
Yeah.
What was it, episode 7?
I think it's the second to last episode.
Episode 7. There's only 8 episodes, right?
Is it? Is it? No, I think it's right. I think it's 8. I think it's 7. Yeah. Yeah. Where like he's like speaking to Wanda and he's basically explaining to her like.
Let's talk about it.
He's basically.
This is as far as I go, though.
No, I'm not. Because
I've seen the scene.
I'm not going to spoil. I'm not going to spoil anything that's happening in the show. I'm going to explain the scene.
The impact on him, I guess.
No, just the scene. So like, it's basically after Pietro died in Ultron, right? And so he sits down with her, and he's basically like, as a robot, I don't know how to experience what you're experiencing. I won't know. But to me, I think grief is beautiful because it's love persevering. You're still remembering them. You're still doing that, and it's like very powerful. That's what I was gonna say.
How did that impact you?
Made you cry?
Yeah, right? It did make me cry. Yeah. How'd you know?
I just know you.
Like I know this bitch, pussy ass. But yeah, those are all the. I'll list them, and then since Joan, you haven't spoken, you let me know what
intrigues you the most, just based
off the title. About what you don't care about. So we spoke about Rogue Squadron.
No,
right?
I'm not interested.
No, that's about
not interested.
Fighters, pilots.
Not interested.
Pew, pew, pew. Nope. Okay. Remember that time when we played Battlefront? We were on ships.
Yeah.
Basically that as well. Yeah. All right, the Untitled Taika Waititi film.
I can't.
Great actor. I mean, great director.
You
don't care?
Because it doesn't say anything. It's untitled.
The Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Series.
You have to remind me. Who is Obi-Wan?
Really?
Yeah.
Anakin's master.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm interested.
The one who fights him at the end.
Yeah. Okay, I'm interested.
They have the high ground.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah. Okay. We have the Ahsoka series. Mm-hmm. Oh, you like her? Okay.
Yeah. Ahsoka, I really like because she's a good actor. The leading role. Yeah, and it's just a cool character itself to develop.
Yeah, that's my favorite character. Rangers of the Republic.
I want to see what they do with this.
Just to see where it's going to lead now that they took her out. What about Lando?
What?
Lando? He is the character Donald Glover plays in...
Oh, Donald
Solo.
Glover?
If Donald Glover plays him, you watch?
Yeah.
Same.
That's what I would prefer.
Yeah, I prefer...
He's getting my money, yeah.
Andor? I don't think you care.
What's that?
It's the guy from Rogue One that gets killed at the end with his girl at the beach.
All right, you can move on.
I care about that.
The Acolyte. It's basically following the story of a Sith apprentice instead of because we always see the Jedi side. So this is gonna be the.
I think that's gonna blow up because they're gonna have some. That's gonna be like mature, right?
Yes, it's gonna be like a horror series. Yeah,
that's gonna blow up.
I want to see.
That's gonna because what you guys were talking about, the adults, all the grown individuals who are infatuated with Star Wars and want to see more realistic or like more bloody aspect of it. That's gonna blow up for sure.
Shout out to Deadpool, paving the way for more mature stuff. It wasn't for the Deadpool movies and the third one that's gonna come out that he wants to do a third one.
Yeah.
Like, shout out to that, because I feel like that's paving the way for more dark...
More R-rated movies.
For
like
those superheroes type of content. Bad guys. Bad boys. Boys. The boys.
The Amazon show?
Oh, the Amazon show. I was like, what are you talking about? I love that show. That show's good. Yeah. All right, but here it says, The Acolyte is a mystery thriller that will take an audience into the galaxy of shadow secrets, emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. Right. So the High Republic is when... the Sith and Jedi were abundant and they were fighting.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's what I'm. And then the Bad Batch. Do you care about the genetically altered
the
clone?
Cartoon?
Yeah.
It's okay.
I mean, the Acolyte is animated. It's not live action. It's animated.
We both got this.
I thought it was a live action.
No, these
they should make it live action.
They should definitely make it live action.
Well, you're not gonna watch it?
You know they should make it live action and put Aubrey Plaza as the main character.
Who?
It's the girl from Parks and Rec.
That one horror movie that she's in.
She's also in that one X-Men show.
Is she?
Yeah, where like the dude is like Charles Xavier's son.
Yeah.
But no one knows
Legion.
Legion. I was like, what the fuck is the name of that? Yeah.
I don't think she's that good.
She's the villain
when it comes to the
I don't think she's that good. I think she's funny.
Yeah, I don't think she's a good drama or horror.
I think
you should watch her horror movie that she was in. She's actually pretty good in it.
Star Wars Visions, I think, is for children.
Oh, what?
So
imagine a Vision Star Wars crossover. He's like, yo, I got fucked up so bad by Thanos. I'm in Star Wars now.
And then A Droid Story is for children. It follows R2-D2 and
Willow Smith is in that.
Yeah, those are all the projects.
That's it.
I'm excited. Can't wait.
Yeah, I mean,
just like this
I'm
year's
always like chilling with love Star Wars, so I'm always like down for more content,
more Star Wars stuff. I feel like since this year is the year of Marvel content, like we got a new Marvel thing coming out every year. Can't wait for that.
I think
every week.
Yeah, after Winter Soldier and Falcon is gonna be Black Widow.
Yeah,
and then after that is more. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, they just dump it.
I can't wait till that's over.
Dumping or dunking?
Dumping, like they just dumping
pushing
loads
out
of
content.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that to be over, so then Star Wars has its turn next year or 2022, whenever
do you ever think like the argument that people make is like there's too much Star Wars now?
Too much?
What does that mean?
I feel like there's
some fans say that it's too much, that maybe they need to like chill out for a bit so that way they can like just enjoy the stuff that they have now before they just keep throwing things out, because they feel like the things that they're throwing out aren't as good as the stuff back then. That's like some people's ideas.
There's too much mediocre Star Wars out.
That's what I'm saying.
because well, Force Awakens came out 2015, and then the next one 2017, and then the next one 2019. That's two. Yeah. I feel like I get it. In this day and age, it's easier to make movies, like, because you want to get it out as soon as possible. Like,
plus Disney wants that money, bro.
They want that Star Wars.
They're gonna get the return
because they paid a hefty amount to George, and he regrets selling. Do you hear that?
Yeah, he says it.
He's like, he wants like, I miss it.
He got bank.
Yeah, he did.
He got like 0.2 billion or something.
He still gets bank because of his royalties.
Does he make? I think.
Yeah, he still makes money off of merchandise.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
So he makes money off of all those Disney parks and shit, that merchandise they sell?
Because he sold the rights to the movies, but he kept the merchandising royalties.
That's
I don't know.
He makes bank then.
Accurate that is, but I'm gonna just believe you.
Search it up. Look at your phone. Search it up. You want me to search it up?
Yeah,
you're the one that's connected to the
TV.
I
hate you, bro.
I'm
the guy.
Yeah, but I feel like
speak about yourself while I do
people. Star Wars fans, right? I feel like
as an outsider looking in,
you were asking for more content, right? Mm-hmm. And then now that
we got it, we're like, we wanted better content.
But choosers can't be pickers.
Exactly. Beggars can't be choosers.
There you go.
It's like that analogy where it's like, you take your car to the shop. You could either have it fast and cheap, you could have it done fast and good. We don't
stop talking to Reed. But I don't think that's true, Jerome. I think he really just sold outright everything for $4 billion.
I thought he sold everything for a big bag.
I know, I read it. I'll look it up later.
But like, because what I'm reading is just says he feels painful for the thing, and then I scroll
billion?
down.
He probably
says officially acquired Lucasfilms as a subsidiary for more than $4 billion.
He probably sold all his rights for $4 billion.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because I know he made a first deal, and then Disney acquired Star Wars.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. His first deal.
I don't think he's making any money though, because I don't think they would make a Disney park around Star Wars if they weren't gonna make all the money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they made Galaxy's Edge, and they sell lightsabers, they sell robes, they sell this, they sell that.
They sell robes.
Yeah, you can buy Jedi robes and stuff. Yo, we out?
You gonna get a robe?
Okay, we out to get some
I'm not
lightsabers.
getting a fucking robe. I can just get this curtain right here.
Jedi robes.
There's like, here's $95 for these Jedi robes, and I could buy the fabric and make it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think I enjoy that they're pumping out things, but hopefully if it's in the same vein as or the same quality as The Mandalorian, I'll be happy.
But let's look at the latest releases, right? Mm-hmm. You have the movies, and then immediately after you have the final season of Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm. Great.
And then you have The Mandalorian after that, right? Yes. Nothing came out in between. No. I say we're heading in the right direction.
That's what I'm saying.
Quality-wise.
Hopefully it stays at that quality. Because if that movie that Patty Jenkins comes out with and it's absolute dog shit, I'm gonna be like, no. Rogue Squadron, if it's bad,
it's a feature film, full feature film. It said,
and so they still promised. They still said that Ron Howard is working. Not Ron Howard. Ron who did what's his name? The Last Jedi dude. Ryan
Johnson.
Ryan Johnson.
Ron Swanson.
No, because the last thing we read was about Ron Howard, who made Solo. But what was I saying? Ryan Johnson. They still promised him a trilogy.
A trilogy?
A trilogy of movies. So he's still working.
Contract or
just said like, yeah, you get 3 movies.
I don't remember. I think they gave him a contract, but they never did anything with it. So I think they have it on the back burner.
I mean, I guess they
back burner. Yo, I am messing my words up, though. Back burner.
I guess to reel it back in. I guess they can't pay him until he actually does it.
That's what I'm saying. So they have it on the back burner.
They're holding that contract, I guess. But I feel like ending on back burner is a great place to end the show. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
You got anything to plug?
Yeah. Follow me on Instagram at Nairbath _ choir.
Spell it out.
NairBaf. I don't know how to spell the last one, but I'm sure I'm the only Nairbath.
Which is your name backwards?
It's correct? My name backwards. Yeah, it's Fabian backwards.
Okay. Nice. So I'm Fernando.
Valdez the Don.
Fabian the real Don.
Peace.
Not true.
Absolutely true.
The realest.